There's no reason to become alarmed, and we hope you'll enjoy the rest of your flight. By the way, is there anyone on board who knows how to fly a plane?
The views and opinions expressed on the Avoiding Real Estate Turbulence podcast are strictly those of the hosts and their guests, and do not reflect the opinions of Century 21 Town & Country, Ross Mortgage, or any of their affiliates.
Hey everybody, welcome to Avoiding Real Estate Turbulence podcast. I'm your host, John Lafferty with Century 21 Town & Country.
And I am Tony Abate with Ross Mortgage.
You're my co-host.
Co-host, yes.
Yeah.
I'm the Ed McMahon to the Johnny Carson, right? So.
No, I'm the Andy Richter to the Conan O'Brien.
Okay, I'm showing my age.
Hey, welcome to our special holiday edition show. Mm-hmm. We thought we'd do something a little different and just talk to you about maybe a story or two we have from Christmas parties or holiday parties of past.
Yeah. And hey, thank you to Mark for the killer Christmas backdrop. That was unexpected but very cool surprise. So we are in the spirit for sure.
Yeah. I was really hoping for a snowman snorting coke, but I'll take this as a good replacement.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, so we're talking about Christmas stories past, right?
Christmas stories past, holiday stories past, heck, Christmas Eve stories. I know a lot of people celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve or have the family over on Eve, and then it's just the family, immediate family on Christmas Day. What's it like in your family? What do you do?
We are a Christmas Day celebration family. For sure, as far as opening presents and things like that. But historically, we've always had big get-togethers on Christmas Eve as well. There's the Feast of the Seven Fishes in the Italian world, and I can't give you the backstory on that other than what it's called. But it warranted a big deal on Christmas Eve as far as getting everybody together, eating and things like that. But for us to tearing open the presents as a Christmas morning celebration. How about you?
Yeah, it's changed over the years. Once everybody started getting married and starting their own families, Christmas Day was sort of reserved for immediate family, mom, dad, and their kids, and so we started doing Christmas Eve. And also, because you got two families, you got the in-laws and the others, so we would switch it off every so often. But when we were growing up, it was Christmas Day. Yeah. Mm-hmm. We would all open presents Christmas morning and then play with all of our stuff. And then early afternoon, we'd head over to, rotated. My mom grew up with a family of 6, and so 5 were in the area. So each year they'd switch off. A different family would host for all the relatives to come over. And so we'd get ready in the afternoon, go over there and get more presents and play with the cousins and hang out. And Christmas Day was a big deal. But now it's Christmas Eve.
Yeah. Very cool. Yeah. Any special memories in particular that come to mind for yourself?
Come on the hot seat. What's going on over here?
Answer the question.
Well, it's funny you should ask. I was thinking about this, and I have a lot of fond memories growing up. In our family, again, there was 5, 4 boys, 1 girl, and so my brothers were all older. The one closest to me in age was 7, my brother Kevin, and so I must have been 8, I guess. And one of the things that I really wanted for Christmas that year was the Super Toe Super Jock. Do you remember this?
No.
So it's this plastic model of a football player.
Okay.
Got a helmet on, and he's a field goal kicker. You pound his head, and his foot kicks the ball. And it comes with field goals, and it comes with plastic things that you can lay out to say, hey, you're kicking a 40-yard field goal. Yeah. So, on television, they did these advertisements. They were really cool. I thought, I got to have that. So it's one of the things I wanted for Christmas that year, and my parents ended up buying it for me, or I was 8, so it might have been Santa Claus.
I think it was probably Santa.
Might have been Santa Claus that brought me that gift. So anyways, I open it up, and it was really one of the gifts that I was looking forward to play with. And And so we get it out of the box. We're in the family room and set up the field goal and start kicking. And I'm not getting a lot of velocity, so I can't kick real long, but I'm doing, short field goals and good. And my brother Kevin, who, if I was 8, he's probably 14 or 15 at the time. And so he comes over. He's like, "Hey, well, let me see that. It looks like a lot of fun." And so he starts doing it and kicking it, and let's move it a little further. And we're going back a little further and moving the goalpost right up against the brick on the chimney or the fireplace, the hearth. And let's go back a little further. So we go back. We're back a long way. And so he's like, "Whoa, we're gonna need some velocity on this."
Oh, no.
And so he slams it, and the guy splits in two.
Oh no! Merry Christmas, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
We super glued him back together, but he was never the same.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
That was my Super Toe Super Jock. Had him for about an hour on Christmas, and that was it.
Man, life of a field goal kicker, though, right? They have their 15 minutes of fame, and they are done, right? Yeah.
He didn't get 15 minutes; he got 5.
Oh man,
he was done.
Yeah, that reminded me of one that I received on Christmas. It wasn't the story that I was sharing with you earlier, but it makes me think of the things that fathers go through in setup when Santa can't do everything and they have to assemble stuff in the wee hours and so on. And so one of my gifts was called a dare plane, which you'd never dare plane, airplane, but it's called a dare plane.
Okay.
And you couldn't buy it today, I'm sure, because of safety reasons, and that's kind of how toys were back in the day, right? Safety was not primary when toy. Think of clackers and all the things that used to be made back in the day. But anyway, this was basically a toy airplane that worked just like a real airplane, and of course it had to be assembled, which means putting together an airplane that works like a real airplane is not easy. So, my poor father sweated this thing for hours just trying to get it right, because airplanes, if they're not assembled right, just don't fly right. But in short, this was an airplane. It was about this big, typical size of a toy airplane, and it was on a pylon that would allow it to fly in circles. And so the power was in this pylon, and then it had to go up through a cable that spun and ran the propeller in this airplane. And then you had controllers that did the flaps and things like that. So it really had to work just like a real airplane. When did it fly? When the propeller got spinning fast enough. How did it go up or down? Well, depending on what you did with the flaps. But so this thing had probably, an 8-foot radius on this in the living room that flew in a circle, which means nobody could really be in the living room when this thing was flying in a circle, or someone was going to lose an eye. And so it was really, really cool, but it took about as long to assemble as manufacturing a real airplane, and it was just as dangerous to stand next to as a real airplane as well. So very cool. I don't think they could sell it today.
Geez, probably not.
Yeah, for sure.
Man.
For sure.
Well, as we're talking about that, I fast forward. I think I was 23. I was 23. I was just out of college, dating this girl. It's our first Christmas together, and I'm trying to get ideas for what she wants for Christmas. So I'm asking her mom and her dad, "What do you think she wants? What do you think she needs?" "Oh, well, she could always use clothes. She loves clothes." I don't really have good taste. I wear T-shirts and stuff, and she dresses really nice, and she's got all these jackets and stuff with the shoulder pads at the time that were really big, and I don't know what to get her. So I finally, I asked her for some ideas. Give me some hints, so I have at least something to go on. So I think we were at Macy's, walking through the mall. And she's like, I think I would really love a watch. I'm like, okay, no big deal. I figure a watch I can afford. And then she starts pointing out, and okay, I'm 23 years old. I have my first job. I'm making $18,000 a year, okay? Yeah. And I'm driving an 81 Regal, 2-door, not the best looking car. So, I don't have a lot of money. I have some, but I don't have a lot. She starts pointing out $600 watches. Like, I would love to have this for Christmas. I said, $600? I don't know if I have $600 to my name right now. I just started this job in September. So I ended up going to what was the store that was big back at that time in the mall? Big mall store that was that women went to for clothing that was sort of edgy and any idea?
Edgy. Boy, I was so not edgy. I'm trying to think.
No,
what,
anyways, I guess it doesn't matter because I went in there and had a sales associate in there. She helped me out. She picked out a few things. And then my mom and dad said, well, we don't know what to buy her. Could you buy something for us to give her as well? I said, sure. So I bought her something. I bought them something to give her as well. Oh, man. Now, she was a real good sport because she decided that she was going to wear everything that I gave her and my parents gave her together as an ensemble to hang out with my family on Christmas Day.
Oh, man.
Afterward. Oh, boy. You should have seen this. It was in orange. It was like an orange turtleneck. It was an orange sweater with checkers. And then I think we got her a pair of orange stretch pants or red stretch pants, so she was aglow.
Oh, wow. Good sport.
She was a good sport about that.
Holy moly. Yeah. So was it shortly after that the relationship ended, or what?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. What a good sport, though. Holy cow. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was an interesting Christmas.
Yeah. For sure. That's a gutsy move, though, to buy clothes for a girlfriend at that point in your life, because that can go in so many bad directions.
Oh, it was either that or a $600 watch and go on the layaway plan.
Yeah.
Which back then there was layaway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think layaway's coming back.
It is. Yeah, it's a thing again. Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
very cool. Yeah.
Well, with that, I guess we'd like to wish everybody out there a Merry Christmas, a Happy Festivus, Kwanzaa and Hanukkah, and a special happy birthday to Taylor Swift. Shake it off, baby. Happy birthday.
Happy everything. Thank you for listening to Avoiding Real Estate Turbulence. If you'd be so kind to subscribe and review and rate, we would appreciate it. Please share with your friends, family, and coworkers that they too can find us on Facebook, YouTube, and avoidingret.com, where you'll find our contact information and every episode. You can also find us on Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, and Spotify.